Hello, part.
Hello, Gav.
Hello, governor. Hello, bruvna. Part 68. Sun is in my eyes. Perfect strategy for the boss. It was
You'll never
9
expect it.
souls, very rhythmic. What if I move over here? No, it's like in the perfect spot. And it's like my blinds are closed, but it's the holes, the tiny holes through the blinds, which is really annoying. All right. This is not an impossible boss. Excuse me. If I get really lucky, like that one time that I fucked everything up. I find the concept of luck kind of fascinating, because someone will post on Reddit, like, there'll be like a lottery number drawing or something. Oh shit, I should have got off the horse at that point. I was already in my second strike. And it'll be like 7 numbers to win the lottery or whatever. Uh-oh, shit. Right. Damn it. And they were off every single number by 1. And
Oh, wow.
which is funny, but it's like at the same time, oops. No. Oops. Actually, maybe. Yes. At the same time, fuck. God damn, that almost killed me. At the same time, like any sequence of numbers that isn't the correct one, like it doesn't matter. Oh god damn it, that sucked. Strike to either side of the horse with left and right button. I know that. Like none of the numbers were correct.
Yeah.
But the concept of them being one off is just kind of something that's in our imagination.
Correct.
Right? Like 37's next to 38, but it might, instead of 37, it might as well have been 2. It's still not. Right. It's just the kind of things that we think about in terms of closeness to something when, you know, you're playing a game where they're drawing numbers. There is no close. You either got it or you didn't. But because of our perception of how that works, kind of feeds the entire gambling industry is by people thinking they're close. And then, being like, oh, I was so close that time. And then getting that kind of mindset or that emotional response to it. There's a lot of things that play on our minds that are very beneficial towards people that own lotteries and casinos.
Well, I think
a lot of fallacies.
A better way of putting that is there's a lot of our brain is very flawed, and there are systems that are merged that take advantage of those flaws because people understand. Oh, like people think that way, so I'll just do this and then I'll
or
make
even
money or something.
Even if the systems that take advantage of it didn't necessarily understand that, but just the ones that survive, obviously, in a Darwinistic kind of way.
Yeah.
Like religions, you know? Like, I don't think that every religion that uses, you know, choir hymns and meditation and fasting was, like, created in a way where they were consciously like, oh, yeah, this is something that human brains are susceptible to, but just over time, the surviving religions are mostly ones that have done that because they're very effective, not...
Yeah.
You fuck!
And the ones... And to the extent that ones didn't survive, their effectiveness was still grandfathered in. Like, there's a lot of paganism in Christianity, just because those rituals appeal to us. Even though
Jelly, help me.
Itself didn't survive.
Oh! Jumped too early. Huh. Oh, come on! I was so ready, but I was flasking.
Flasking is a good word.
Thank you.
Sounds like
I made it up. It does sound like a sexual thing.
I was flasking.
Oh, he's charged up. Uh-oh. Shit! No! I need to get my magic back. And this is bad. Oh! Alright. Oops. Get out of here. Holy shit. Okay, that was the first time oh, fuck you! I didn't realize you still had a charge after that. No, my friend! Jelly, no! Oh! Jesus Christ, you're too powerful! Fuck, really? I dodged and everything. I guess I could have jumped on that one, but I wasn't aware.
Hey, hope you're doing okay with Scoot's passing. I send my condolences to Scoot's family and friends. In lighter news, I saw Kinds of Kindness and thought it was an 8/10. Love your vids. Keep it up.
Thank you, Evil Productions. I also thought it was an 8/10. Sneak up behind it and use Poison Cloud without even aggroing. I don't know if I've ever used Poison Cloud. Also, I'm not a baby. So I'm just gonna do it for real. Okay, lucky so far. Nope. Come on. Fuck you. Ow. Oh, I gotta recognize those when I hear it. I always fuck myself out of it. There's a nice little, you can get like a special hit whenever you hear that noise. Fuck.
Right. Like a parry or?
Oh, yeah, okay. It's kind of like a parry. It's like a finisher or whatever. Doesn't necessarily finish them, but it does a lot of damage. Fuck you! No! 2 hits and I'm done. 2 hits and I'm done. Stagger critical. Because I'm just so focused on spamming my attack move, and you can hear it, that like, dong. He's like staggered for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just never recognize it, and I have to get off my horse to do it, so I can't just hit the same button again. Okay. Yeah, I forgot how much I enjoyed playing this game. It's a very fun, like, just addicting. Like, I'm not, I'm always into it when I play it, and I always want to play. I always like want to stay up to keep playing it, and I have to be like, no, it's time to go to bed.
What time is it for you right now?
7:10 p.m.
Okay.
Not bad. Come on, buddy. Get over here. I don't want to get trapped. Or disturbed. Or Limp Biscuits. Oh, fuck my friend! Oh, fuck, see, I was... It sucks. I made him bleed at least. Uh-oh, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Fuck. Fuck my... I fucked my friends. We're so close. Fuck you. At least on a horse I can drink a flask while I'm moving, which is really nice.
You can flask while you're moving?
Yeah.
I did that at a party once.
I can flask my horse. Got greedy, and we're good. Oh, come on! Oh, oh, oh. Whew. Okay. Where's the next safe zone? That boss can't be critical hit? Well, then why does it do the signal? Oh. Sure. Ugh. Oh shit, I got a lot of souls for that. Sorry, what are they called again?
Yeah.
Runes.
Yeah.
I got a lot of
That's what they
runes for that. Okay. Now I can probably use some consumables. 5,000 worth. I got a 2,000 and a 3,000, so why not? Okay, so do I want to Dex maybe? Or endurance?
I don't know.
I mean, having better equip load will open up some doors too. And then why would I want Dex higher? I guess there's a lot of stuff that comes with Dex. Katana scales on Dex. I'll do endurance first. And then the next one I'll do Dex, and then I'll go back to vigor and intelligence. Yeah. What's cool about this game is you have unlimited Dex for running as long as you're not near any enemies. So I can run, yeah. There's a lot of things they've fixed about the Souls games in this to make it just a bit more user-friendly. A lot of annoying things. Alright. Nope, sun's still there. Rolling into boxes and having them all just crumble is still very fun. It's a silly Souls thing. New option in my system. Oh yeah, no, I enabled that, Akita. Thank you, though. Was that with a DLC or just like an update? Probably an update. That'd be weird to lock it behind a DLC. Nice. Those are for summons, I think. Bitch. Bitch. Hmm. Lindell. Mike Lindell.
Is that the My Pillow guy?
Yes.
Nice.
They're trying to kill my pillow. Oh, fuck! What the hell? That's fun.
I don't even know
Little
what I'm looking at.
marshmallows. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. Weirdos. Up! Oh shit, a larger one. Okay.
It gets bigger when you pull it.
Nice. It's gotta be worth a lot. What's going on? Help. Huh. What the? I hear something.
Okay.
Sounded like someone was attacking me.
Hi, Gael.
Hello, Iron Soda. Thank you so much. You are large. Oh, God. I see. Okay. Oh, I can't move once I do. Fuck. I thought I could move, just peer around the corner. Oh boy, that did quite a bit. All right. Good music. Oop. Who's this? You're not my dad. It's definitely me. Gael, is your mic on?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, hi. I was expecting you to react to this beautiful face, and I heard nothing.
Your face?
It's me.
The Joker?
It's me.
I don't know. It's kind of unsettling.
No. The nose from the side.
Well, that's kind of like my nose, actually.
Oh.
A little bit. It's very... How'd you even get the hair in there? That's weird.
I know. The character
Like, you got
creation.
hair in places where I feel like it wouldn't be an option in character creation.
It's
You know
called
what I
cheek
mean?
maxing. I've been mewing a lot.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you've really been maxing out the cheeks. Not in a good way.
Mm. Mm. Huh. Oops. Huh. Oops. Nope.
Are they made of like yarn or?
Oh. Who's to say? Do a spin? A horn. Sir? This is a Wendy's. Oh. Ah, smithing.
But with 2 Ds.
Yes. Smidding. Oh, this is just where I came from. Okay. 1 second. Sorry to hear. Tall trees, 420. Oh yeah, okay. This away. You had a mental breakdown at work? Well, I had a mental and physical breakdown at work, so... Did anybody catch that tweet from Elon Musk? Where after the Trump assassination, he's like, people have tried to assassinate me twice in the past 4 months.
What the fuck?
Where he's like, I want to be the victim.
Elon is one of the weirdest people who ever lived. I think he's gonna run for president someday. By the way.
Oh, he has to. It's not gonna go well.
And yeah, actually, I think you're right. I'm hoping it doesn't.
Oh,
but we're
geez.
like electing billionaires now. That's kind of the play.
He is very unliked, though. I don't know if he'll even get the
is.
fucking party nomination. Like, he might run for the Republican Party, and then just they don't even nominate him.
It'd be hilarious if he ran as a Democrat. He wouldn't, but it'd be funny.
I mean, then he's for sure not getting in.
Yes.
Hiya!
They could change the laws, Blaster Master. Like, Trump could change the laws while he's in office if all he has to do is just call him on the phone. And then, for sure, he'd do that, right? They're billionaire buddies. They would, Trump would totally like, do that for...
Trump doesn't have buddies.
But, like, you know what I mean? It'd be an opportunity thing. Like, Elon's a billionaire.
What are you
Trump's a
suggesting he would do?
Just change the laws so that Elon doesn't Elon's not born in America, so he can't technically run. But they could just change the laws so that you don't have to be born in America to run. And I feel like that would not be like I feel like that's an easy law to change for Elon's sake.
Elon would be our second black president.
Yeah.
Elon, more like Elon. God.
You should be an opposition strategist.
Oh hell yeah.
With fire takedowns like that.
Dude, if I was in charge of the Biden Twitter.
Yeah. I honestly think that Twitter is not being poorly run.
Oh no, Jesus Christ, that was so powerful. I had no time to do anything. Those guys are tough. Well, that sucked.
You were saying?
Well, I don't know what I was saying.
Twitter? If you would run Twitter?
I mean, no, I mean, like, I would be great at it, is what I was saying.
The Biden Twitter, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, but yeah.
And I'm just thinking of edgy things I could say about the Trump assassination, but I don't want to get on a list. Even if I'm role-playing as the Biden Twitter account, it's too much.
Oh.
What was the thing?
I see.
Right after the... What was it? Whichever football team that Taylor Swift's boyfriend was on won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Twitter was like, haha, all
Travis
according to
Kelce.
plan. Because people were doing like a conspiracy, like the Super Bowl's rigged because when they win, Taylor Swift is going to endorse Biden, as if she wouldn't have equal, if not more, attention on her just posting it to her fucking Twitter. Like she'd be on the front of every news outlet anyway. She doesn't have to do it at the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah. I mean,
Taylor Swift could control the election. Ladder, I should have went up the ladder. You're right.
I wish the left had good conspiracy theories. We need to lean more into like being conspiracy theorists and saying that shit. Like, I'm not even like, I'm only half kidding, right?
Because right now there's some people saying the fucking Trump assassination attempt was staged, which who knows how on the left those people are. It's a lot of them are just like random Twitter accounts that it's like, oh, you post on Twitter, but I don't know what you do, and you're not attached to anything politically. But I gotta pee.
Like here. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Can you hold the thought?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right.
Been holding thoughts since I was 12.
Got yourself. We're back. As you were saying.
I was talking about like conspiracy theories, and you just mentioned that like there's people who are potentially on the left who are claiming that this was a staged attack or something.
Yeah, I mean, like if they're anywhere, they're on the left, I guess. I'm gonna see if I can just run past people. Let's try that.
Do you think they're on the left? Because like I feel like the right has like people on the right should definitely be like conspiring. No, we should be like, oh, they tried to kill our president, right? Like that's what the conspiracy should be.
They're doing it too, just in a different way. They think that it was a setup, as in like Biden's responsible for doing it, whereas people on the left are saying Trump faked an assassination attempt to look better or something.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think both sides
is not up.
I think both sides should be engaging in this sort of wild, unsubstantiatable speculation. I think that's what should be happening.
Why though?
Well, because the right's doing it, and the right gets a lot of political traction from it. So if the left doesn't do it, they have a disadvantage.
I don't know.
That's how I see it.
I think that a lot of moderates look at the crazy shit and go like, well, I don't want to be associated with that. I think there's enough of that.
I think a lot of moderates get sucked into it, but without knowing that that's what's happening.
I mean, if nobody's fighting the conspiracy theories, then yeah. Fuck
but yeah,
you
could be fighting conspiracy theory with another conspiracy theory. What better way?
I don't like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't have a lot to recommend it, but I just think that, again, the left is at a disadvantage if it's only the right that's doing this.
Not if we're loudly debunking conspiracy theories. And I don't know if you've heard the Sam Harris analogy where it's like trying to put out a fire, but it's a series of small fires, and they're lighting fires faster than you can put them out.
I haven't
that's
heard
a
that,
problem.
but that does sound, yeah.
But
So it sounds like Sam Harris agrees with me.
yeah, I don't know if you fight fire with
small fire.
other small fires.
I would like to. Our crazy people. That's what, like that's the frustrating thing in a way, right?
What do you mean?
Like they look at the left, the right does, and they go like, these guys are crazy. They're communists and socialists and shit. And then you look at the actual left, and it's the most boring, by the book, buttoned up, like at most you get maybe a fiery progressive, but like there's no crazy people.
Oh,
And
there's
then
crazy
the left
people,
looks at the right,
but they're mostly like college
But
students
where
and
are
people
they?
without any influence. Whereas on the
Like-
on the right, it's like actual politicians and voters. On the left,
Yeah.
it's like just people on Twitter mostly that don't
Like,
really
that's-
matter.
Yeah. Exactly. They don't matter. Like, where's the crazy people who matter, who are actually like
I don't want
implementing
that.
policy
I
and
don't
shit?
want that though.
But why not?
No, we don't want it because the right is so good at taking any misstep. And then we were watching Fox News while we were at
Yeah.
AC. They'll take one minor thing and then just run with it, and that's their coverage for like the next month. Like,
Okay, but that
there's a
yeah,
there's
you
a
understand
higher
that's
set of standards that the left has to adhere to in order to defend ourselves publicly in the
So I see that point as a point in my favor, not in yours. Because no matter what the left does, Fox is going to spin it in the most insane way. And the people who consume Fox News, unironically, are already under the impression that the left is a giant, conniving cabal led by George Soros that's trying to destroy America. That's already the you can't have an impression of the left that's worse than what Fox News is offering. So why not go entirely crazy? Like, there's no way that Fox is not going to be able to spin that more than they currently are. They're doing their level best to portray the left as insane as humanly possible. So if the left did actually go as insane as humanly possible, Fox's coverage wouldn't change materially, and people's impression of the left who already consume Fox News isn't going to change materially either. The only difference is there's actually policy behind it. That's the only real difference.
Your worldview is based on the impression that what is said on Fox News and what people repeat on the right are sincerely held beliefs that they actually believe. Whereas a lot of what I've learned over time is that a lot of these things that they say, they don't actually believe. And they're just they're using these things as if you were, let's say, in a school setting where you're on a debate team and your job is to debate for a position you don't even have, not necessarily a position but something that is like categorically indefensible. And I'm not saying this is how everyone on the right operates, but there's a significant chunk of those people where you talk to them like there's no reason. When I posted my tweet saying we need Trump to let all of his followers in with guns at his next rally to prevent shootings. There were there's a lot of conservative people that got mad at that. But for them to get mad at that, they would have to know.
They would have to understand.
That they would have to know that their position, which I'm literally just parroting, they would have to know that that's an indefensible position for them to get mad at what I said. Otherwise, what's the issue with what I said? Right? There was a stream that I jumped in on where I was going to talk with someone named Dylan Burns, and we were going to have we were going to go through like a funny bad documentary, and we did. And it's his most viewed video because I'm in it.
Okay.
Before he was ready to have me in the call, he was like in the middle of just debating some random conservative guy that I never heard of. And I jumped in the call because I got so triggered because he was like, actually, the left is more like Nazis. Actually, the left is actually, that's what Hitler was. He was on the left. I jumped in the call and I was like, would you say that you're more right-leaning than Hitler? And he's like, no. But it's like, well, if you believed what you said, then you would say yes. Because if Hitler is fundamentally left, a lot of them just don't believe what they say, and they're treating it like a fucking game because they believe that the end result of what they want, whether it's like they don't like trans people or they are suckered into Reaganomics or some shit, like they believe that whatever they do is worth that end goal, that they're willing to lie and pretend, and that's why all of them, they get these there are these like tiny little signals that they get that they all play ball with. You know, they don't call it the Democratic Party anymore. They call it the Democrat Party. All of these tiny things, and they fall in line completely in step with one another because they're playing a fucking game, and a lot of them are just simply dishonest. And that's what I've learned over time. And it's not a fun thing to learn because
but like,
I've talked with you about this before. Like I would fundamentally like to believe that people are acting in good faith and trustworthy, but over time you unfortunately recognize that a lot of people are just fucking liars and they don't even believe what they're saying. They're not operating in the same way. They're not playing in any way that like is fair to your standards. They're just doing their own thing, and it doesn't matter. They don't care. See, like that's why you can't call out inconsistencies on the right. That's why we were saying earlier, like, you know, all these people that suddenly believe in stochastic terrorism as of yesterday. Like, they're not going to apply that to the Libs of TikTok account. They're not, and it doesn't matter to them because they don't care, because it's not about consistency. They're playing a fucking game, and it's all just about pretending. It's all just about pretending and scoring points and dunking in ways where they can just tell themselves as a group, and if there are enough people in the group that repeat the same thing, then they're fine with that, and it doesn't matter. They have no... Remember how, like, Jan 6 happened? Every single Republican, like, the first news that broke out about it, they're like, this is insane, this is embarrassing, this is a shame on our country. And then they all got the fucking memo 5 hours later. They're like, actually, it didn't happen, and it was Antifa, and if it was us, it's actually not a big deal, and it was like a tour group. They all got the fucking memo. Like, they are so used to just saying things that they don't actually believe, because that's a part of what they do. And again, that's not every conservative. There are people that genuinely are duped by these people who I'm describing that don't believe what they're saying. There's a lot of people that are duped by that shit, and I feel bad for them. But unfortunately, that's a significant part of the commentary ecosystem when it comes to conservative commentators and this fucking propaganda that we have to deal with. There's my rant.
I mean, the thing is, like, what I believe isn't predicated on the premise that people on the right necessarily hold their beliefs sincerely. Instead,
it feels that way because you're saying it wouldn't matter if the left was actually as crazy in terms of, like, convincing moderates or even people on the right.
So what I want to do is I want to change the framework of the game completely. These people are playing, like you said, by these warped rules where
no rules.
What they say, no rules, right? And they're playing unfairly, and they're playing to score points, and they're not arguing from good faith in any way.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
which is what
we
sorry.
I'm saying
Go for it.
I'm saying
oh fuck!
We should do that.
No, we shouldn't. I think that's bad.
I think at this point we live in a post-truth society. And if the currency
that sucks.
If the currency of winning, if the currency that you have to agree with, the gold of our time is perception. It is this kind of point scoring thing, which, by the way, they got the memo for it because it works. They're doing it because it works, right? And now they're winning, and they're going to control the levers of power.
You say winning. I don't know what you mean by that.
Like, Trump already got elected once. He's
lost the popular
barely
vote. Not winning in like a changing minds way.
Yeah,
just
so
enough,
who cares?
enough for the electoral
Who cares
college.
about popular vote? Exactly, that's my point. The rules suck. Who cares about? You don't care about. You care about winning within the rules of the game that allow you to control the levers of power and enact the change that you want. You don't need the support of the country or the electorate. You don't need the popular vote. You don't need rules and law and order. You don't need the Congress, right? You don't need checks and balances on the presidency.
But if we're to
that's
measure,
what's happening right now.
I know that, but if we're to measure like the amount of people being convinced in one way or another, the popular vote, although not something that is going to win an election, is representative of the portion of the population that is convinced by a particular idea, and that's what I'm talking about.
But like, to what extent? Forget about the population, right? Like we're about to enter an era potentially, if Project 2025 happens, and where not these people.
Oh! Shit! I gotta get out of here.
Sure.
Keep going.
These people are changing the rules of the game.
Oh shit! This is the room I died in last time. Oh, should I grab my stuff? Let's try it. Ooh, no! Let's see if I can grab my stuff. Whoa! Oh. Yeah. Go. Sorry, go on. I'm gonna get out of here. I don't have any flasks. I was trying to drink from a flask I didn't even have. Oh shit. All right, let's go. Woof. I got my shit. Where do I even want to go? This sucks. I should just go back to the safe space. There's a grace after the Erdtree avatar. Well, I'm going to have to do this again anyway. I want this to go back up if I have to go back anyway. So I think I'm fine just having collected some runes. Because I ran out of fucking flasks. So I'm just going to go back up.
All right. I want you to imagine... that you and I are playing a game. And it's like a competitive game. Like we're playing like chess or like a fighting game or something. All right? And obviously, like, I'm trying to win and you're trying to win, right? We're playing this game, right? And I start cheating. Let's say we're playing a fighting game and I start, I don't know, like unplugging your controller or something, right? Or we're playing chess and like whenever you look away or something, I like move one of the pieces without you looking, right? So I'm like cheating, right? And then eventually you find out that I'm cheating, or you figure out you're like, hey, you're cheating. Let's stop doing that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to change the rules of the game now, where I'm allowed to move your pieces sometimes, right? And I'm just going to do that. Like next time we play chess, I'm going to change the rules of the game where I'm going to be able to reach up to your side of the board and move one of your pieces. And you go, well, I don't like that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't, we'll see. Right? And then maybe the spectators will allow me to do that. And I'll ask spectators, and then the spectators are like, oh, no, you shouldn't. But maybe some spectators are like, yeah, let's do that. Right? And then eventually I get enough support that enough spectators go like, yeah, you should totally do that. And then we keep playing chess, and now we're playing chess in a way where I get to move some of your pieces, and you don't get to retaliate. Right? And you're telling me that the best strategy to beat that is to just play chess better. If you just played chess better, you would beat me. I'm telling you, no, you should try to change the rules of the game so that you can also move my pieces. That's what you should do. If the rules of the game are determined where like the spectators who are watching get to tell me, yeah, it's okay if you move Adam's pieces. Like we're on Twitch stream, you're Twitch, we run a poll and the poll says, it's okay for me to change the rules in a way that favors me and doesn't favor you. It should be in your best interest to change the rules either back or change the rules so that you are on even ground. So you can also cheat, and you can also move my pieces too, and we're just playing a different game. That's what I feel like is happening right now. That's why I feel like we should also be trying to change the rules of the game in a way that favors us, because the right's going to do it, and we can't just win by playing chess better. We have to address the rule change at some point.
You're talking about a chess game between two people, when in reality it's a chess game between millions of people. And if optically there are reasonable people on your side that do care about optics, which is why Democrats have been weak and not cheat. Well, I mean, not Democrats, but people on the left have been less likely to do things in a very unfavorable, like, depends where on the left, but where I consider myself to be, myself to be on the left. Yeah. So not everyone on the left, obviously. If let's say what you do and you're now stooping to the level of the other side, you lose some millions, some huge portion of the people playing on your team by doing that. Like that's not just an optical thing, that's also a strategy thing, right? The reason why Hillary Clinton lost is because she represented the exact same establishment that has been fucking people over for so long, in sure, less bad ways than Republicans were and continue to be doing it. Like, it's Democrats fuck people over, just not as quickly as Republicans. But people were so used to people had like an awakening on the internet with like Facebook and YouTube, and everybody sort of now the general population being involved in these types of conversations, and whether it be conspiracy theories or just kind of like anti-establishment sentiment, that people chose what they thought was the outsider candidate at the time. And I feel like I feel like there's a chance in my mind that if Bernie was the Democratic nominee, that he would have won over Trump. I mean, I think most people other than Hillary would have won. I think that there is a sentiment among people, not everyone on the left. There's a lot of fucking crazy people on the left for sure. Most of them don't vote. The crazy ones I'm talking about. But I think that at least where I consider myself to be, there's like a huge amount of people that do care about whether something is done ethically and would not be on board necessarily for the same type of it would be embarrassing in my mind, and I'm sure a lot of other people's minds, to be affiliated and on the same team politically and trying to do the same thing if, let's say, major politicians in the Democratic side were just completely out of their mind and actively attempting to legislate based on conspiracy theories that are unproven and just not based in reality. And some might argue that that does exist to some extent. I would say not as bad as the right. The worst...
I wouldn't say that. What I would say is that, like, why are you embarrassed? Here's the thing, right? The people on the right don't have that problem. These people are voting,
which is why it's an unfair
alongside
balance.
People who they hate, who they think are terrible, right? Like, like Ben Shapiro and these people, like all these people hate Trump. They hate him, but they understand how powerful.
People on the left hate Biden,
right?
Right? People voted for Biden against Trump, not because they liked Biden.
Yeah.
So that does exist to an extent.
More of that needs to happen.
More of that does need to happen, and I feel like we are getting more, thanks to the internet and a lot of conversations that have been happening. I feel like people are waking up to the idea of being strategic, and that doesn't necessarily have to involve, and in my opinion shouldn't necessarily involve, completely throwing out all of your morals and attempts at being representative of the rational person. I think that is something that we need to understand.
What good are
is
your
at
morals
stake.
if you can't implement them, right? Like, who cares? Like,
I mean, Biden did win the last election.
If you can't implement them. It's true, barely. And I don't know.
We're gonna have to see what happens this time.
Like, here's some hypotheticals, right? If it was possible through the internal mechanisms of the Democratic Party for them to replace Biden with someone who could beat Trump, like anyone, like any of the 50 Democrats he said could beat Trump.
John Hamm.
Do you think they should do that? If you think if there was an internal mechanism and we're just not doing it out of principle, do you think that's a good idea? Because I think that's silly. I think if the Democrats have a way of replacing Biden, I think if there's a technical way, like a loophole, like a legal loophole that you can use to replace Biden using the internal democratic process at the DNC, then the Democrats should just do that. And I think if they don't do that because of principle, because the people voted for Biden,
so what I'm
talking,
but here, remember, the conversation we were having was not about something like stacking the courts. I would consider what you just described would be like, oh, like, are people going to complain about it, and are some people going to, especially on the right, be like, oh, that's unfair or whatever. I don't have an issue with Biden deciding, like, okay, we need to get as many Democrats on the Supreme Court as possible. That would be something where I'm like, okay, that might have an optically bad perception to some people, but would be necessary, especially
I'm
given...
in favor of that.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying.
I'm arguing for.
That's
basically what I'm arguing for.
Remember what we were arguing about before. What we were arguing about before, the thing I'm arguing against, is everybody just deciding to be conspiratorial and dishonest, right? If there is a legal framework to stack the courts, and especially now that there's a Supreme Court precedent that you cannot be charged with anything that you do that would be considered in the line of duty as president, right? Like, they can use these existing rules that Republicans have taken advantage of and play the game in that way, and I'm in favor of that. I just don't think...
also change the rules, by the way.
I just don't think that...
change the rules in order to accommodate them.
I agree. But I just don't think that people should suddenly start behaving in as bad faith of ways in terms of the conversations people have, and there's a threshold for everyone. Oh, I forgot about this big kitty. Oh my god.
I think we should be willing to cheat way more. Like,
I think that.
Right?
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
I love this kitty. Sorry.
Very good.
He's beefy. Oh my god, this sucks. This is not where I want to be. He's got a nice mane. It's not even a boss. Go on.
Do you know how on Fox News, every election cycle, and not just on Fox News, this is now like a classic Republican talking point, right? That there are people who are fake, who are like voting twice. There's massive voter fraud. That's part of the Republican conspiracy theory, right? Like, Trump says it in his rallies, that basically dead people are voting. These people are registering twice, and they're stealing dead people's vote. That's a huge conspiracy. That's a massive, like, Republican, and it's obviously completely unfounded. We know from the data that there's
and it's been
no voter fraud.
Debunked to the point where anyone who cares about what they're saying already has the answers towards that, and most people parroting it, at least with platforms, don't believe what they're saying. And then there's a portion of the population that's duped by it, but most people saying it with platforms don't actually believe it.
So my question is,
you're saying that other people should like
what do we
stoop to that level and say things that they don't believe?
No. What do we lose if we actually engage in voter fraud? Like, what more can they say? They're already saying we're cheating. So why don't we actually cheat?
Because then when the court case happens, then that can get thrown out, right? You could have a situation where they would have to negate the election or like redo.
But court cases have already happened, right? Like,
where they've proven that there's no voter fraud. There's no significant voter, so it's good to not do it. But see, what you're describing is what a lot of Republicans think, which is why whenever there has been a case of voter fraud, and again, not significant, but the few cases of voter fraud that have existed have been Republicans doing it because they think that Democrats are doing it. But again, it's not happening on any significant amount of a scale to actually change the election. And I don't believe that these people actually believe what they're saying. A huge portion of them. I think that they just see it as a game.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned about trying to win over moderates. And in the United States, the Overton window is particularly weird when it comes to what we define as moderate. Way more right-leaning than we would consider to be a moderate in Canada.
Sure.
And so you have to operate. It's unfortunate that Democrats are held to, or sorry, left-leaning people, and I guess Democrats to some extent, are held to a higher standard in terms of what can convince people out of voting for them. Hillary Clinton just being cringe. Cringe and bad was enough. It sucks that there's a higher standard, but if we're going to exist and try to change anything electorally, and maybe the Democratic Party isn't the party to actually do that, but in order to get to a place where we could even consider having a party that could do that, we would have to make sure to be considerate of and win over the moderate voters, the ones that can be persuaded. And it's crazy to think that, especially in the divided country that the United States is in right now, that there are enough moderate voters to have an impact on the election. But that's true, right? There are swing states. There are people that's a part of the plan. That's a part
that I'm the most
game.
Curious about, because it feels like for a very long time we've operated under the assumption that the moderates will save us. That appeal to moderation is a good thing. But if the last few election cycles have taught us anything, it's that might not be as true as we think it is.
Trump won because he appealed to moderates, because he was saying things that were populist, and he pretended to be on the side of the workers. Now, a lot of people see through that, but
sure,
that's how he won.
If you look at the kinds of personalities on the right that have been popular, it's not just Trump, right? It's how Sarah Palin was so kind of popular as well. It's very similar to that.
But she didn't get elected.
She didn't get elected, but I think she...
Well, yeah, she ran for president, did she?
Fuck! Vice president under McCain.
VP, oh yeah. McCain Palin.
Arguably, she saved arguably she actually was a positive contributor. People like to say that he lost because he picked her, but I think there's a very good argument that she probably helped his campaign a lot more than people think she did. And the entire emergence of that Tea Party, etc. People like her.
You betcha.
And people like that kind of thing in general. And it feels like every time I look, I'm like,
up or down.
The electorate likes crazy people. The electorate in the United States, we just love
not enough
crazy people.
Not enough.
A lot.
Oh yeah, a lot.
What you mean by enough?
But there's
what? Enough to win an election. Certainly
there are Republicans that will never budge, no matter it's all about just my team, right? And there's people on the left that are like that too. Those are not the people that you should be trying to speak to, and you should ignore those people because they're unchangeable, and you can't convince them out of any position. They've already decided what their team is. But there are people, and they're a much quieter voice, and it's much more difficult to remember that those people exist when these loud voices are present within the political system. But I think it's important to communicate to those people that do exist and do have some power and are just regular people driving a fucking minivan trying to get their kids to school. Damn it. Oh, well, I lost some health anyway. That aren't so hyper partisan, flying Trump flags, or I don't know. There's barely anybody that flies a Biden flag, but it's like I said earlier, it's an anti-Trump vote for most of it.
Yep.
I think it is important to appeal to those people. And, on a different scale, something that I've, part of having a public, YouTube channel, online presence and stuff like that, a lot of existing in that space has been, it's been healthier to remember, a lot of the people that are commenting are just assholes, right?
Right.
If a video is good and someone's watching it, when I watch a good video that I like, I usually don't go oh, that was the best, and leave a positive comment or anything. Maybe if it's a channel that I really like and I want them to know that I watch them or something, then I'll leave a comment. You have to just remember the not necessarily algorithm, but the what's the word? There's kind of a weird selection bias when it comes to the type of people that are very loud about what they're saying, and it's not necessarily representative of the overall spectrum or important spectrum that can change things, whether it's online or politically. And especially now, because a lot of what we're talking about in these conversations exist online, especially now, we know that a lot of the people talking online are just like actually bots and are just like literally just either paid Russians or like just AI at this point it's difficult to tell like what things are politically online when you just see a bunch of blue check marks saying things, right?
Yeah.
It's sometimes difficult to get like a real grasp for how people actually feel about a situation. So I don't know. I feel like it's important, just saying this again, like, remember that there are rational people that exist that might not be making themselves known. That hopefully will vote, and by the time the election happens, we'll understand why it's important that they vote. I'm going to take another short break.
Sure.
Burb.